Hello everyone, good morning. So today I thought of bringing this up and discussing with my channel subscribers and viewers. I started my YouTube journey sometime in 2021, and my first intention for opening the YouTube channel, right, was to just comment on social issues and whatnot. But I'm sort of a multi-dimensional person, right? I enjoy doing a lot of things. I enjoy to travel. Sometimes I want to vlog. Sometimes I want to just sit down and talk. And then maybe when I see something interesting, I want to show you guys too, right? And so I started making, if you look at my initial videos, you would see that it was sort of a commentary, right? I was making commentary on my perception of how pregnancy affects women. I was making videos on, social things that were happening in Nigeria at the time, like Big Brother Nigeria and all of that, right? But at that point in time too, I was also at a place where my skin was really, really great, right? And people used to commend me and say, oh, your skin looks damn gorgeous, you look really good, what do you use on your skin? And so I also had this, I still have this thing where I want to try out products. I like to try out things. I very much like to try out things. I think when I consider my personality and the kind of person I am, I've observed that I always try out new things, right? Great. And so I thought, okay, since I enjoy trying out skincare products, let me also talk about skincare products on my channel. Now, understand that was not the initial intention of starting the YouTube channel. The initial intention was to talk about social issues and maybe to make vlogs, right? Great. But when I started making vlogs, my travel vlogs, and also uploading my product review and my opinion on certain products, I realized that the travel related content, vlog related content, were not performing as well as the skincare product videos, right? And so I tried to stick to making more skincare product videos. And I also need to mention that skincare product videos were easier to make, right? You just needed to sit down and do your talking head video, and it's just one continuous film that you can go back and edit easily, compared to travel vlogs that you had to form a story. You have to find a way to carry your audience along, and then adding so many stitches, that's many clips and footages together to form like one comprehensive video. That took a lot more work in terms of editing, right? Great. And then I also like to have a certain vibe in my travel videos. I want to get the perfect music, I want to get the perfect scene and all of that. But those videos weren't really getting as much views as the skincare product videos. And of course, one of my ultimate aims, other than to share my life and show you the world through my eyes, was also to monetize in the long term, right? Oh my goodness, look at how beautiful the sky looks. Anyway, so one of my intentions was also to monetize, right? And I was almost close to monetizing. I think I had already gotten 1,000 subscribers and 3,400 or 3,200 watch hours when I became broke. There is no better way to say it. I just became broke, and I didn't have any money again to whether continue to even pay my rent or continue living, or hold on a moment, I need to tie my shoelaces. Yeah, thank you. So as I was saying, I didn't have money to, sustain the lifestyle anymore of, filming YouTube videos. I didn't even have money to feed or to pay rent at the time. So I sort of actively started looking for a job. I never did stop, but around that 2022 period, I actively now started looking for a job, right? And that was in Uyo. And I couldn't get a job in Uyo, but I eventually got a company that was willing to hire me in Abuja. And so I took the offer and relocated back to Abuja. And the pay it was a pay cut, one, and I had to change environment. So having to relocate to Abuja, adapt to the environment, do house hunting while working that job, it was very demanding on me. And looking back now, I think I spent the most part of 2 years plus in a very depressive state. There's something they call high functioning, is it anxiety or depression? I can't remember. Like, you're living, you're existing, you don't look depressed, but there's just a humming depression that you're just living with and moving through life, right? And that's the state I was in when I came down to Abuja. Now, add that to the fact that I got a job in an organization that was very, very demanding, right? My job description was not specific, so you could be asked to do 100 things at once. So it sort of amplified my anxiety at the time. And then I also had to work with this boss that was, he was a perfectionist, and not in a good way, right? In a bad way. Like, he would chew your head off if you didn't, execute a task perfectly exactly the way it was in his head. And you know how difficult it is to, sort of replicate what is in somebody's head as a separate individual, right? Like, you could do your best to produce or reproduce what he wanted, but there was a chance it wouldn't be as perfect as it is in his head, right? Great. So in such situations, he would sort of chew your head off for not making or designing something as exactly the way he wanted. And having to work in that environment, I realized that my anxiety was getting high, right? And so I had to stop at a point in time because it felt like I wasn't doing anything right. And this is me that had worked in professional settings for quite some time and gathered experience, but just coming here to realize that I didn't know anything, or I was treated like I didn't know anything, right? And so the pressure was too much, the pay was poor, and I just decided to stop because it was getting at me. And so I started job hunting for other jobs, and those are the things that have been happening since 2022 till now. That if you check, I was able to post some videos in 2022. There were times when I felt or I had the energy, right? And I forced myself to film and post. But after 2024, I got another job, and it's just been, they've just been jobs that drain the life out of you and leave you with nothing. The only time that you have left is either you just want to crash and sleep, or you want to heal and recuperate. So it's not a situation that encourages creativity, right? And so I feel like my creative juices sort of dried up. I couldn't create anything anymore that period, and that's sort of explains the gap in my content creation journey and why it looks like I'm having to start all over again from the beginning right now. So I had to be in environments that killed every creativity in me. I'm not making excuses, but this is the reality of what happened between dealing with my personal life, meeting the deliverables of the job, trying to make an income, keep up to societal standard in this Abuja. It was just too much that I couldn't create. I just couldn't create anything, no matter how I tried. I would try to put up my tripod to film maybe a product review or some video or whatever. And I would just be looking at the screen blank, even though the product I had at hand to review was right there with me. Like, I couldn't just put the words together. It looked like the only place where I could function was at my job, like my 9 to 5, and functioning there sapped out all of the energy from me, so I couldn't do any other creative thing. And so those are some of the things that had been happening for the past few years that have made me inconsistent on the channel. But I'm back now and I'm trying to rebuild the channel. I had 3,200 watch hours, which was close to 4,000 watch hours, but now it has reverted back to 597. So that means I need to hustle or gain what's the number now, about 3,500 or 3,400 more watch hours, right? Now, why am I making this video? I'm making this video because as a human being, you evolve and you grow, right? There are certain things you wanted to do at age 25 that you no longer want to do at age 35. And I'm thinking of broadening the channel and doing other things, like showing other aspects of my life and other aspects of things that I do that interests me. But I'm worried about how it would affect the channel. Will I lose subscribers? Or would the best approach be to just open a new YouTube channel? That's what my brother and I were discussing yesterday. He is of the opinion that one of the things that has stalled my channel is I talk about skincare and then I do travel vlogs and all of that. So he is saying I need to open one channel for everything. And as much as I get his point, I am worried that if I do that, I will burn out, right? Maintaining so many channels at the same time. I'm worried that I will burn out and be forced to abandon everything. And that's not what I want to do. I want a sustainable pace of creativity. Do you understand? So having to manage too many outlets is going to burn me out, and then I will end up not getting results in any venture that I put in energy. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about, to know what you think the best approach should be, right? Should I know ultimately it's my decision and I have to make up my mind about what I choose to do and deal with the consequences moving forward, right? But what do you guys think? Would you watch any video that I post irrespective of the so-called niche, or would you just want me to continue doing the skincare product review videos? I really like to hear what your thoughts are. I'm quite fearful about even thinking of doing this, but it is what it is, right? Sometimes I also even wonder that I should have held my tripod today, because my hands are already aching from holding the phone in landscape mode to make this video. So I was saying that it's strange how systems in this world work, right? It's almost as if it's designed for everyone to be in a box, and you have to be in a particular box for you to succeed. And if you're someone who is a bit in every box, you would struggle. And I think that's what's also affecting me on YouTube, right? Because YouTube and life in general, this has also been my problem in life generally, not just YouTube. Life and YouTube expects you to put yourself in this one box and remain there, right? But I have noticed that I'm not this person that stays in one box. I do different things. And so because I am not made for one box, my growth tends to stall, because the system is not designed to accommodate persons like me that my natural inclination is to do different things. Do you understand? So I'm at a crossroads right now. I'm a bit confused on what to do, but I just thought to, have a vulnerable moment and share with you guys what I've been contemplating on the channel, so you guys can help me also think through this and decide what to do. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end this vlog here. It's 15 minutes long of just me talking and my arms are aching. So I'll see you in my next one. Bye.